let's talk about something real, something you might be feeling right now.
If you've been waking up lately and the first thought that hits you is, what's the point? If it feels like nothing really matters,
If everything just feels hollow and you're honestly not sure why you should even keep going, I want you to know what you're feeling is painfully human. And this is the most important thing you're going to hear. You are not alone in this, and you are not broken. There is a way through it. You know, this feeling of emptiness, it rarely just appears out of nowhere. Something, big or small, usually opens the door. Let's talk about what some of those things might be. For some of us, it's a big, sudden loss. Maybe you lost your job, a relationship ended, someone you love is gone, or maybe your own health took a turn. It feels like an anchor you always counted on was just cut. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you did everything you were supposed to do. You got the career, the family, you checked all the boxes, you climbed the mountain everyone told you to climb, and when you finally got to the top, you looked around and just thought, this is it? This doesn't feel like enough. And for others, it's not one big thing. It's a slow burn. It's day after day of loneliness or money stress or just feeling completely invisible to the world. And it all just adds up until one morning you wake up and you can't find a single reason to get out of bed. Or maybe it was a betrayal. Someone you really trusted let you down, and it didn't just hurt, it shattered the way you saw the world. Now everything just looks gray. And you know, sometimes nothing dramatic happens at all. You just hit a birthday, 30, 40, 50, 60, and this quiet little question pops into your head that just won't go away. Is this really it? Look, whatever the reason, the feeling is the same, this hollow space inside. But it is so important to understand this. That hollow space is not proof that your life is worthless. It's a signal. It's like pain after an injury. It's your soul telling you that something important has been wounded or lost, and it's asking you to pay attention. So, when you're in that place, what's really going on inside? Well, it's usually two things happening at the exact same time. Okay, so on one hand, your mind is just exhausted. It's like it's put up this temporary gray filter over everything. It blocks out the good memories and makes it feel impossible to imagine a better future. That heaviness, that's not the whole truth of your life. It's just a filter, and we can learn to see through it. Now, at the same time, on a much deeper level, you've just bumped into the biggest questions every single human has to face eventually. Questions about freedom and loneliness, and the fact that life doesn't come with an instruction manual for meaning. Feeling lost when you hit these questions is completely 100% normal. It doesn't mean you're failing at life. And once we recognize that, it opens up a whole new way of looking at this. There are a few, hidden truths, I guess, that can really start to change everything. They're like a map that can help us find our way. Okay, here's the first one. Suffering stops feeling pointless the second you find a way to give it meaning. It can actually transform from this thing that crushes you into a foundation you can build on. The second truth is that meaning isn't something you have to make up from nothing. It's something you discover out in the world. And there are three main ways: through creating something or contributing, through really connecting with someone or experiencing beauty, and, this one's huge, through the attitude you choose when you're facing something you can't change. And the third truth? The human spirit is built to say yes to life, even in the dark. That little spark of defiance, of resilience, it's already in you. It just needs a little room to breathe. So, how do we give it that room to breathe? Well, we can start by asking some gentle questions. There are no right or wrong answers here. This is just for you. So let's start by just quietly reconnecting with your values, the things that are like your internal compass. So just ask yourself, what do you value most in life? Maybe it's kindness, honesty, courage, adventure. Just let whatever comes up, come up. No judgment. Okay, now let's look for a little proof of those values in your own story. I know it can be hard to remember the good things when that gray filter is down, but let's just gently try to recall. When in your life have you felt most fulfilled or proud? Think about those moments. What was happening? What qualities were you using? Maybe it was a time you helped someone, or created something beautiful, or just stood up for what you believed in. All right, holding on to those memories, let's gently turn and look toward the future. Not with any pressure, just with curiosity. What does a truly meaningful life look like to you? Not to your parents, not to society, but to you. If you stripped away all the shoulds, what's left? Now let's get really practical and look for clues that are already in your life, right now, even if they feel really small. Think about it. When do you feel most alive and energized? Maybe it's when you're listening to a certain song, or walking in the woods, or having a really good conversation. Just start to notice those little moments.
And let's go a little deeper into that. Let's think about those moments of flow, when you're so into what you're doing that time just disappears.
What are those activities for you? Is it playing an instrument, tinkering with an engine, getting lost in a good book? Those are powerful, powerful clues.
Okay, now let's talk about your own strength, your resilience, because you've been through hard things before, and you have strengths you might be forgetting about right now.
Think back. What are some challenges you've overcome? And what strengths did you use to get through them? Was it humor, persistence, your ability to ask for help? See? You have a track record of survival. You've done this before.
All right, let's take all these clues we're gathering and just gently try to visualize a future that feels, well, authentic, a future that feels like you.
Just imagine yourself 5 years from now, living a life that truly feels right. What does that look like? Who are you with? What are you doing with your days? How do you feel in your own skin?
You know, meaning often really starts to blossom when we connect to something bigger than ourselves. So let's explore that for a second.
What legacy, big or small, would you like to leave behind? Now, this doesn't have to be some grand monument. It could be as simple as being remembered for your kindness by just a few people.
All of this reflection is so powerful, but it really comes to life when we ground it in one small, real, concrete step.
So what is one small, intentional change you could make this week to bring your actions just a little bit more in line with your values? If you value connection, maybe you could send one text. If you value creativity, maybe you could spend 5 minutes drawing. Just one small thing.
You don't have to figure all of this out today. You don't. You only have to take one small step, one question, one reflection, one tiny action, and just see what happens. See, meaning isn't something you just wait around to feel. It's something you meet halfway, and you still belong here. There is still good waiting for you, even if you can't see it yet.
Stay. Your meaning is still being written.